Hi, this is Lada from Astrology.com, and this is your weekly horoscope coupled with the yearly forecast for all of the 12 signs actually. And the weekly horoscope will be about the 21st to the 27th of November, but the second part of the video will be focused about a yearly forecast for all the signs in regards to the current Pluto Square Jupiter, which will be valid throughout most of 2017 as well. So if you have patience, so if someone puts timestamps, you can go and check out your sign how the Pluto Jupiter Square will affect you, which is a very rare alignment. And before I start, I want to remind you that on Sunday, the 27th of November, I have a webinar on Rahu and Ketu, the karmic notes, your past lifetimes. I'm going to teach you how to read where you're coming from, where your past lifetimes are coming from, your past life lessons, where you're heading in this lifetime, how to have the fastest road to success, what is the key. This is the position of Rahu, the north node of the moon. And also we're going to see what can be your stumbling stone in this lifetime and what's going to give you the green light to move ahead. So it's going to be like 4 or 5 hour webinar, what the transits of the south and north node of the moon mean, what the karma of those is, and what the eclipses that they cause. So these are the two most important points in the whole horoscope. If you understand the meaning of Rahu and Ketu, the south and north node as we call them of the moon, in your horoscope, you don't need to know anything else in your horoscope. This is like the path, the guide for the path of success in your life. So that's on the 27th of November, Sunday. It's only $44. If you miss it, you can watch it online. Just purchase it, and you can buy it later on. And we have a recording for it. Okay, so how does the week from the 21st to the 27th of November looks? First, again, as I said, I'll make a quick summary of the week, and then I'm going to talk about the Pluto Jupiter Square. I think that will be the most important part of this video. Well, this week we have the Sun going into Scorpio, of course, almost from the beginning. And moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius, the Sun leaving Scorpio. So kind of the mood starts to brighten up a little bit. And people start, especially when the Sun moves to Sagittarius from a darker sign like Scorpio, and more suspicious and more psychological and more paranoid and fearful sign. This is the more negative manifestation of Scorpio. We're moving into Sagittarius. It's almost like coming from a little bit of a tunnel to more of a daylight, which is the Sagittarius area energy, more looking forward to the future, starting to plan in regards to the future, starting to have more hopes and dreams for the future as well, which is the energy of Sagittarius, to look at things more philosophically overall. And if we've been feeling things too intensely and too deeply, when the Sun moves into Sagittarius, we start feeling it and experiencing things as more from a bird's perspective, not as so overwhelmingly emotional. At the same time, Mercury will be joined with Saturn this week, guys, which means that Gemini and Virgo people ruled by Mercury, which means anyone with Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Gemini and Virgo might have some important decisions or some extra duties and responsibilities to take because Saturn is with their planet. They might have to take care of older people, or deal with senior authority people and take pressure from more authority or senior people of some sort. They might have to take extra responsibility, take some difficult decisions, so they might feel a little bit overwhelmed energetically, like more tired, because Saturn tends to lower down the energy, or more burdened with duties, or more kind of a bit more pessimistic overall. While people that are ruled by Saturn, which means Aquarius or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, they're going to have some important Mercury things to do, because Mercury is with their planet Saturn, which means like some important conversations, communications, administrative tasks, media, writing, speaking, travels of some sort, clarifying conversations of some sort, some important commercial transactions, business deals, communications, informations of any sort. And for everyone else, the Saturn-Mercury conjunction will impact us that this week we might have some important and serious conversations to do, some important or serious business or management activities, and Saturn will help us be more focused with our mind and more checking out all the detail and being more responsible with the details and more responsible with managing advertising, marketing, communicating the information that comes. And it's also good for someone who is studying for exam, for example, because Saturn gives more discipline to the mind, to the logic, makes one be more hardworking in regards to Mercury matters, speaking, writing, and matters like that. It might be a good time to travel for business, but not so much for pleasure, because Saturn is not so much a planet of pleasurable activities. Okay, and we also have Venus conjunct Pluto this week, guys. So it means that Venus ruled people like Libra and Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people will experience more, will feel more Plutonic this week, which means more passionate, more intense, more suspicious, more, they might be in an investigative mode. They might be receiving, also they might be focused on other people's resources, which is Pluto. They might be more kind of like X-ray, tapping into the collective subconscious and feeling the trends and almost like feeling the motivations of others and reading other people's bullshit, and being able to see through some lies as well, because Pluto is a very penetrating planet. And the passions and desires intensify for everyone as well. Venus and Pluto, when they're together, our desires increase. Our desires and our relationships overall, which is ruled by Venus, can be transformed, or we can have some deep psychological realizations which transform how we view our relationship. But this conjunction happens once every year usually. So for about a week we have a chance to have some deep psychological transformations or realizations in regards to love, in regards to our social circle, in regards to the people we love, in regards to our values as well. Some transformations in what you value and what you find valuable can be happening. And on another level as well, this is passions, as I said, increase. We can find out some secrets in regards to something to do with love, in regards to something to do with relationships, anything artistic or creative, which is Venus, beauty, art, communications with women, can be very transformational as well. But also on the negative side, Pluto can be manipulative. So maybe women can have a tendency to be a bit more manipulative, certain women in your life, or to try to be more powerful. There might be empowerment of certain women on the positive scale, or certain women taking advantage or manipulating more with their feminine charms, which is Venus, those around them, if you're predisposed already to such behaviors. Yeah, it's lots of possible combinations. And also Venus conjunct Pluto is being squared by Jupiter, which means that what we desire really, our deep primal desires, Venus conjunct Pluto, our powerful desires might be clashing, hard aspect with Jupiter, what the society considers right, what we believe is right to do. So there might be like a push and pull. You really want, you have a drive to do something, maybe it's a bit taboo, maybe it's a bit forbidden, maybe it's a bit dark, which is Pluto, but your desires are very strong, your passions, they're Venus, and this clashes with Pluto, the public opinion, or with what's morally right or wrong, or with your ethics in some way. So there might be some inner struggle there in some way. But now let's talk about the most important thing. Jupiter, the whole week is under the influence of Pluto square Jupiter, or Jupiter square Pluto, which will repeat twice more in 2017. So what I'm going to be talking about now will be valid for a whole 1 year, starting from November, and you've already started feeling it. The whole November we've been under the approaching square aspect between Pluto and Jupiter, which means that it's, you know, you've been seeing what's happening. And Jupiter rules money and the monetary system. In India, 86% of all monetary banknotes were basically scratched off the surface. So there is like a big transformation, which is Pluto, that might be happening over the next 1 year in regards to the financial system, because Venus rules abundance, money, monetary exchanges and currencies, and there might be a change with the banks, a big change happening with financial institutions, with the monetary system, and we're just seeing the inklings now in November in regards to that. It started with India. I think Citibank has also declared it will no longer be taking cash, but there will be a change with finances and the value of currencies overall. And I'm not a financial astrologer, I can't predict world events, that's not my specialty, but I've read that whenever Jupiter is on the hard aspects, there is fluctuations on the markets because of the monetary system, the abundance changes, the structures, wealth is redistributed, and it might be done in some kind of underhanded methods, because that's Pluto after all. Jupiter is making aspect with Pluto, and people in power, in the hidden power, Pluto is hidden, it's in Capricorn, hidden power of some sort, structure, government structures, so people in power behind the scenes, Pluto in Capricorn, which are kind of redistributing wealth over the next 1 year, which is Jupiter overall, because it's a difficult aspect, but it seems like people will become aware of it. It's not gonna pass unnoticed and swept under the carpet. So 2017, change of somehow finances and monetary system or wealth, or the bank systems in some way, but at the same time people's belief systems, which is Jupiter, will be very much challenged, and they'll become more inclined to conspiracy theories as well, Pluto, and also fanatical beliefs. So it's starting to happen. You see people how extreme they are in their support for this party or that party, how fanatically they're reacting. Jupiter is our beliefs, Pluto is extreme fanatical black or white reactions. So especially people that are already predisposed to such behaviors, 2017, starting already from November 2016, it's going to be so black and white, it's going to be so extreme. Religious fanatism can increase as well to create a crisis situation, or not only religious fanatism, it might be a belief system of who you support, which party, which government, can become so extreme that it creates a crisis situation in the world of certain countries, which has to be dealt. Well, why are those difficult aspects? Because something becomes so intensified that we have no other option but to deal with it. And kind of change of also the laws, because Jupiter is one of the planets that rules laws, and it's in Libra, in the sign of law, is going to make a square aspect to Pluto, which is transformations, especially big organizations, corporations, government structures, oligarchy systems. So there will be changes, a change of law towards such organizations or government structures or institutions that have been established for hundreds of years or dozens of years. So there is like a change that's starting to happen in such organization in regards to the law, in regards to the rules there. And the beliefs of people will be challenged in regards to, again, to such institutions. There will be like a little bit like a repeat of the awakening of the spring. What was it? The Arab Spring, as we said, which was when Pluto and Jupiter were in a difficult aspect. And I think they were making a square again or something like that, or opposition, I'm not sure when this all started. 7 years ago, yeah. But anyway, there will be like intensification of those feelings, of belief systems that are being shattered. Naive belief systems of humans will be shattered, but also darker powers from government and and like government in shadow, which how I would explain Pluto in Capricorn, because Capricorn is very about government structure, control, and Pluto is a hidden, in secret, government in secret, or big oligarchies that try to control big groups of people will be challenged by the law. Jupiter in Libra will be challenged. Some truth will come out about such situations, and people's belief systems for propaganda will intensify, will become quite extreme, and people choosing sides will become quite extreme. But the structures will be challenged again, as I say, in regards to that, and people's beliefs will stop so easily to be misled. But usually propaganda increases a lot around that time. Oops. Sorry, I hope you can hear me well. Just a second. I'm gonna do it so it doesn't blow too much. Okay. And secrets, Pluto, secrets, government secrets, which are clashing with the belief systems of humans, or which are clashing with law, can come to the surface as well. So we see how it's going to play out, but you're seeing already the start of that, and you can see how extremely in their opinions, which is Jupiter people, and how they're separated that they're becoming. But now let's see how the Pluto-Uranus sorry, the Pluto-Jupiter square will affect people on a personal level, because that's my specialty. No matter how much I'm predicting world events, this is something that is a special branch of astrology. You have to study it for 7-8 years to really understand it well. So let's see what is going to be happening on a personal level. And this is for, let's start with Aries. So you might be feeling it already in November. The whole next week is under this influence, but maybe it already started for you, and it might transpire over 2017 for you, but maybe you'll see the first steps towards that starting from now, from November. So we're gonna have, if you have Jupiter, Sun, Moon or Ascendant in Aries, like I have my Sun in Aries, for example, Jupiter will be in the 7th house, making a square aspect to Pluto in the 10th house, which means that there might be a clash and a friction between your career and your love life or relationships. That's one way it can play out. There can be a power struggle between some authority figure and your relationships as well, or business deals, for example. 7th house is business deals, agreements, and 10th house is some authority figure. 7th house is relationships, which can be transformed because of a change in your social status. Pluto in the 10th house, or your social status might be transformed because of a change in your relationships, or something might be changing in the life of a partner of yours, business or personal partner, which affects your social status. Or the 7th house is your audience, the public. They might be changing towards you because you're changing something in regards to your career, or your career might be changing because your audience or public is changing as well. You know how they're interconnected in some way. And so 10th house is career, 7th house is relationship, business partnerships, clients. So there is a friction there, something that you have to put more attention to work harder on, to resolve it over 2017. And so what we can expect, either change in relationships, which affects also career and social status overall, or change in the social status, or through some authority figures. And social status can be also marriage, can be career, which also affects your personal relationships and popularity, the 7th house, and contracts and agreements. Then for Taurus, Jupiter will be in the 6th house, Pluto will be in the 9th house. I've taken some notes here because it's hard to remember all these things sometimes, and to, you know, whatever I've taught. So what does it mean? For Taurus, whether it's your ascendant, Sun or Moon, Jupiter in the 6th, Pluto in the 9th house. Well, let's see, change. The 9th house is your belief system. And if maybe you're gonna change somehow your belief systems, which is the 9th house, how you perceive the world, the higher knowledge and wisdom of how you observe the world, which will change your health habits. You know, that's not bad, actually. It might be stressful a little bit, or maybe your health habits or health, if there is some problems, they can make you change and research and learn something new and change your perspective. Say, become a vegetarian, which is the 9th house. It's about belief systems which shape your whole life. So something to do with your health, or even transforming your whole lifestyle in regards to what you eat, how you work out, whether you eat 8% raw or whether you eat organic. But something to do with your belief system. 9th house is changing and transforming how you live your daily routines, how you take care of your body, your health as well. Or something in regards to your health is changing, which will affect your belief systems overall, and how you perceive the world. So one's health can lead to change one's belief. Also, 9th house rules higher education and pre-qualification. 6th house rules work. So there might be changes happening at your work which might demand you to make changes and maybe learn, pre-qualify, learn something new, maybe take some new courses. Or maybe you might start pre-qualifying, learning something new, the 9th house, which leads you to a new job, which leads you to change circumstances at your career, at your workplace, which is the 6th house where Jupiter is. Also, the 6th house is debts. So maybe change of new opportunities, 9th house, new horizons, learning something new might help you transform certain debts of yours. And 9th house rules courts, so there might be some connection which is a bit stressful between courts and debts that you might have to work on over the next 10. And the law, the 9th house is the law, the 6th house is debt, and the 6th house is anything that kind of And sixth house is also red tape, bureaucratical things that kind of tend to delay things, you know. And the ninth house is travel. So for example, relocation in foreign countries. So there might be some complications, so having to resolve something because of red tape, bureaucracy in regards to travel or higher education, or in regards to your future plans, which are being blocked by some kind of bureaucratic or, you know, change of plans, or having to improve the details of a plan, for example. Sixth house is relatives as well. It's one of the houses that rules relatives. There might be some friction with relatives and your belief systems, for example, or your vision of the future. That's not the way. And also there might be the need to find a solution between your big plans for the future and the practical reality, the sixth house, and the small plans, that how you're gonna implement those big plans, basically. Then, okay, what else is happening? Gemini, Jupiter is in your 5th house, Pluto is in your 8th house. So starting from November and a big part of 2017, you're gonna have this aspect happening. So where are the transformations happening? Okay, well, the 8th house rules mutual resources, and there might be a change. There might be the shifting of mutual resources that come to you through others. The amount of money you make through others, whether it's through business contracts, whether it's through your clients' money, whether it's through investment in someone else's business, whether it's through the government, or whether it's through your partner, might be changing because of children. 5th house is children, where Jupiter is, because the change of circumstances of children. For example, a child comes with changes, your mutual resources, or something to do with your children might need to change, you know, might impact your finances, mutual finances with your partner. Or 5th house is creative projects. Some new creative project might lead to changes in the resources that you receive from others, whether it's your clients or whatever. So you might change something in your company and how you do your business, which is creative thinking, 5th house, which affects your resources. Or some risky investments, 5th house might lead to some financial, you know, kind of instabilities that you have to address as well. Also, there might be deep transformations. 8th house rules deep transformations which affect your love life. 5th house, deep psychological realizations, deep like aha moments, almost, with psychological self-analysis and examination, something that comes through the past, which helps you totally transform and reshape how you approach love, how you give and receive love, Gemini. You know, because the 5th house is love and and dating, or change of resources. For example, so an investor, 8th house, might change your plans for your business or your creative ideas, for example, or you might have to take into consideration in regards to your business and your creative ideas someone, and source out resources that come to you from other sources, you know, which is 8th house. And also be careful about manipulations, which is the 8th house, and which is Pluto as well, towards your love life, which is Jupiter in the 5th house. Such manipulations is for there, or even manipulations that come to you through your loved one, children, lovers, you know, they can become more clear now, and you might be able to hopefully sort out such manipulations or power struggles that are happening there between loved ones, lovers, and to take your power back. Okay, for Cancers, Jupiter will be in the 4th house and Pluto will be in your 7th house. The cardinal signs are always very important themes, a trigger for them. So November and most of 2017, you have to be dealing with issues of finding a balance and finding a resolution, some creative resolution in regards to something to do with your home and something to do with your relationships. So for example, a change in your relationship status can lead your Cancers to a change of your place of living. Again, it's not necessary that it will happen immediately from November, but you might be getting some inklings there. A change in the life of your partner might lead to change of something at your home. Maybe you do a renovation or whatever. Or a change in your relationships overall, or business relationships. Say a business partnership may lead to you to have to relocate or make some changes to a foundation, to your base, to your place of living. Or 4th house is your family. Something to do with your family can create a tension between you and your partner that you have to find a creative solution, because squares are about finding a creative solutions. Also, there might be some manipulative overtones coming between your private life, 4th house, and your partnerships or your public life, the 7th house. So you have to be able to sort them out, to see them, to weed them out, you know. Whether it's your partner that's being manipulative on the emotional level. Jupiter is basically in your 4th house, and Pluto is in your 7th house, so there might be some manipulations from partners, business or personal partners, or some power struggles happening with them, which you have to kind of clash with your own personal needs and the needs of your own family and what's important emotionally for your happiness, Jupiter in your 10th house, and resolve those. Or some big changes happening in the life of your partner can lead to some big transformations emotionally for you as well. Or there might be some contracts, 7th house, that lead to relocations, that lead to a change in your family numbers. Or a new relationship or relationship that comes, which affects your personal life, so changes your home life, your numbers of family, but it might be a little bit more crisis prone because the difficult aspect. So you have to, you know, difficult aspect, a square between two planets. Yeah, it might play out great. You getting a new member of family, you know, 4th house, which changes also the dynamic of your relationship. So getting a new partner, which makes you change place, or getting a new partner, which makes you change your relationship with your family, or start your own family. But you know, this can, because the square aspect, it implies an inner conflict that you have to make a decision to decide, inner push and pull that you have to be dealing with in regards to partners and family members and such matters. Okay, then for Leos, Jupiter is in the 3rd house, Pluto is in the 6th house. So over the next 1 year, there might be issues. Let's see, 6th house rules work, 3rd house rules all the colleagues, all the people in our environment, brothers, siblings, relatives, and 6th house rules strive. So be careful, there might be, for example, clash of opinions with such people a little bit, some little power struggles that happen, which have to be resolved, but which can eventually empower you as well and can bring truth to the surface. But these are co-workers, colleagues, relatives, and some possible enmities can be happening around November, and then when Jupiter and Pluto repeat again, which has to be resolved creatively. Again, as I said, creatively, and can lead to positive results again. And there might be change of habits. 6th house is our habits, and basically something in our daily routines and habits and health habits can be transformed because we're learning new skills or we're developing new interests. Jupiter in the 3rd house. So for example, you start reading some book, Jupiter in the 3rd house, which bring you new information, which you decide to try out a new diet, which totally changes your daily routines and your daily lifestyle. Or you have to learn new skills which change your work. 6th house is work, 3rd house is skills. You know, again, it can be very positive things but you kind of have to reconcile that. You might be having some resistance. It might feel a little bit more difficult to do. So learning new skills that lead to change of your work, to your daily routines, to your health habits as well. Or creating new contacts, Jupiter in the 3rd house, with new people, new contacts, a new network of people which impact your work as well, which is Pluto in the 6th house. Okay, what else have I written down? Daily routines and plans can change. You have to be adaptable because both 3rd and 6th house are Mercury houses, which are to do with planning, with organizing our daily activities, our daily routines, our work habits as well. It's kind of when there is a tension between those two planets, we're asked to restructure something there. And there might be documents rules the 3rd house, while the 6th house rules red tape, bureaucratic things. So there might be some complications or things you have to resolve in regards to documents that require, you know, extra push and efforts, for example. There might be the need to perfect or change the way you work or change the way of your skills. For example, you might have a way of doing something at your career, and now the boss comes and says, we're introducing a new software or a new thing, you have to learn to do it. So kind of this tension that you're pushed to learn something new, change the way or technique you're using by learning something new and perfect it. Okay, and also third house rules travels. So for Leos, there might be documents and arranging of documents and travels of any sort. So there might be the need to pay more attention to detail. Sixth house, the need to overcome some red tape, to be more patient, to be more painstaking, to make sure that you check everything in regards to documents and arranging of such documents as well. And to follow things correctly, you know, because difficult aspects can play tricks on us, so to speak. If there is some kind of possibility for enmity or manipulation that comes to you through relatives, through co-workers, through associates, through networks, through even friends, to be more, and even clash of ideas and opinions, to be more sensitive towards them and to resolve them creatively as well. Okay. Commercial activity is also the third house. So Jupiter square Pluto can require much more attention to detail in commercial activities, marketing, managing activities, and matters of those sort. Then for Virgo, Jupiter is in the second house, Pluto is in the fifth house. Both are connected to material, financial, and security matters, which means that there might be some connection and something to be resolved creatively between money, your resources, and your children. For example, your children can become a source of more spending, or you might have to invest in them for something, whether it's their education, whether it's their work or whatever, or something else that can create some tension between your own resources and those of the children, or loved people, fifth house. But usually it's not so bad, because it's for loved people, we don't mind spending money, even if it destabilizes a little bit our own security and finances. We're fine with that, because we didn't throw it away. We gave it for the lover, we gave it for love, for pleasures, for entertainment, or for people we love, like our children, in some way. Or there might be the need to change, because there is a change in your finances, to change your creative plans or business plans, which is the fifth house. If you are self-employed, this is the fifth house. If you work for yourself and your vision for your company, how you run your company, your creative ideas through which you run your company, is the fifth house. And the second house is your money. So changes through your money can bring changes to your business plan for your own company, or to your own creative projects, or your own creative projects are changing in some way that requires you to restructure your own finances. That's another way it can manifest. Also, Jupiter Pluto is in the fifth house, Jupiter is in the second. This is your values. Your values might be changing. Your value system, in a powerful way, what you like, what you consider important, is changing, which leads to change in your love life as well, which is Pluto in the fifth house, and which, you know, and also a change in your love life. It might play the other way around. Pluto in the fifth house can lead to a change in your finances, so a change to your to your resources and security. It can lead you to take actions to change your financial security, you know, or to change your own personal belief systems as well. Not belief systems, but value system. Okay, then for Libras, Jupiter is in the first house, Pluto is in the fourth house. That's strong influence. So there might be a clash in the need to creatively resolve what is your personal needs versus what is the need, what you find that you need as security. That you don't allow your fears in regards to security, fourth house, to overpower your own personal needs and goals for the future, for example, which is the first house, and how you express yourself. Also, there might be some clash between you and family. Your family wanting something from you, in worst case scenario, manipulating you, trying to control you, some power struggle with your family, which kind of goes head to head with what your plans for the future, what you want about yourself, with your self-image, which is nothing bad, nothing to be scared from. Again, it can be resolved. Or there might be some change that's happening on personal level in your life, how you perceive the world, where your life is heading, your life direction, which also affects your personal life. So because of big changes that you're making in your life, you can change your place of living, Pluto in the fourth house. Or because you make a change of living or a big change in your family, whether it's a new member or member passing away, or getting a new flatmate or moving where you live and relocating, which can affect a lot your path in life overall, which is, and your self-image as well. A big change in your confidence, in your new opportunity coming into your life. Jupiter in the first house will transform in some way your personal life as well. Pluto in the fourth house, your relation, your marriage, your family life overall, and place of living. Okay, let's see. Then some kind of buried emotional complexes, which is Pluto in the fourth house, that come to us from our childhood, can come to the surface to be dealt with. And actually they can eventually empower us when we remove them, when we don't allow them to lurk underneath the surface, those buried feelings, those unforgiven feelings, unregenerated feelings from early childhood towards mother, towards father. We can bring them to the surface when Pluto squares Jupiter in, you know, for you Libras in the first and fourth house, and this can empower you and bring new opportunities for you. Okay, then for Scorpio, Jupiter is in your 12th house, Pluto is in your 3rd house. So 12th house is a hidden one, 3rd house is information. There might be some hidden information that you unearth over the next 1 year, maybe even starting from November already. Something that was secretive that comes to the surface. Something that, you know, that was unconscious that become conscious. But also you have to be careful, because not to get into gossip situations. 3rd house is contacts, networking, information, communication. 12th house is behind the scene actions. Try to avoid yourself getting involved in such things, whether you're gonna gossip, whether you're gonna do something, you know, behind the scenes, because it can backfire. But also be careful that there isn't such gossip about you or some underhanded actions from hidden enemies towards you in some way, some slander communicatively, in worst case scenario, you know. Our 3rd house also rules relatives of some sort, sometimes siblings, co-workers, teammates, colleagues, and 12th house is actions that are hidden. Either you or such people might be doing some hidden actions from you, and you have to find a way to resolve that, a way to reconcile that. And let's see. 12th house rules expenses and losses, so there might be some expenses and losses in regards to travel, in regards to in regards to education, 3rd house, in regards to, which is not necessarily bad, you just might have to invest and spend, because 12th house rules its expenses and losses, but it's long-term investments as well, which might feel like an expense now, but you're investing for the future, so you might be investing long-term in regards to some education, in regards to some traveling, in regards to some documents, in regards to some networks, in regards to acquiring new knowledge and skills, you know. And yeah, so that's kind of how Scorpio feels this 12th, 3rd house. And at the same time, it can stimulate the imagination as well. 12th house is the right brain, the imaginative, the subconscious brain. 3rd house is the logical brain. There might be kind of initially like some clash within you. Your heart or your subconscious is telling your intuition one thing, while the facts that you're seeing in front of you in the logical mind, or the information that you're receiving, the 3rd house, is different. It's telling you a different thing, so you might be trying to reconcile what your intuition is telling you and what the facts are, and to find out which is the true one, you know. But again, creative solutions, this is how squares are overcome. Okay, there might be some, and then for Sagittarius, Jupiter is in your 11th house, Pluto is in your 2nd house, both houses of money, how you gain money, 11th house, and how you keep that money, 2nd house, what you spend them on, 2nd house. So there might be transformations with your money, with your gaining potential, with your finances. You know, for example, changes in your earning potential, which is the 11th house, can lead to changes in your saving potential, 2nd house. Or your savings can lead, and what you want to have a security, 2nd house, can lead you to make some big changes in regards to how you make money and how you gain money, which is the 11th house. So financial transformations that lead to changes in your security, but be careful not to destabilize it with risky actions of any sort. Also, values might be changing, 2nd house for you, which is, you know, Pluto, transformation, big transformations in your values can lead to changes in your social circle and friendships. So removing people or friends, Jupiter in the 11th house, or just starting to see new friends that are very different from before, a different source, because your values are changing, what you consider important, you know. And there is like connection between your money and your friends in your social circle, which again can lead to positive things, you know. But there's kind of like there is connection between those two planets, those two houses, so new contacts can lead to new resources, new finances. It's just important that you make sure that if potential conflicts, to resolve them creatively, so to speak. Your social circle can affect your finances. In the 11th house is your long-term goals. Maybe a big change in your values, which is 2nd house, leads to transformation in your long-term goals. Or your long-term goals change. For example, you say, okay, I've decided no longer to try to be a ballerina, but instead I'll try to be a teacher of ballet, you know, and this transforms your earning potential and finances as well, and your values and your finances and social stability and security. So 11th, 2nd house connection. Then for Capricorn, Jupiter is in your 10th house, Pluto is in your 1st house. Big changes. A big change in your personal path in life, Pluto in the 1st house, can lead to big changes in your social status. Social status, 10th house, can be marriage, can be career, or some kind of, in worst case scenario, there might be some power struggles happening between you and a authority figure like father or boss or government institution, which you have to resolve again creatively. But again, there is a contact, there is connection. It doesn't mean you fail at that. It's just hard aspect, just means more tension, and you can still benefit from that. You know, at the end, the final result can be great. Or like, for example, a big change in your new opportunity in your career. Jupiter in the 10th house can lead you, Capricorns, to make new big beginnings in your life. Pluto in the 1st house can make you, can lead you to big transformations of how you see yourself, how you express yourself, your confidence levels as well, how others perceive you on the whole. So now here, something is pushing you either in regards to your social life and social reputation to change in a big way your personal, your life, yourself, your image. Or you are something changing within you, even in regards to your appearance and in regards to your whole life circumstances, which leads to a big shift in your social status, in your career, very likely to change career. Then we have Aquarius. Jupiter is in the 9th house, Pluto is in the 12th house. Well, that's, what is that? Both are houses of foreign countries. If you have anything to do, like I'm Aquarius ascendant, whether it's your Aquarius Sun, Moon or ascendant, you know, they might be, you know, having to solve some and deal with issues of foreign countries, of relocation to foreign countries. Or it might be good for research. 9th house rules universities, 12th house rules research, libraries, you know, so higher education, and it might be a time that it's a bit more stressful, but you have to do some research of alternatives, gaining new wisdom, new information, which can lead to gradual shift of perceptions, because both houses, 12th and the 9th, rules one's perceptions, how we perceive the world. Like a big shift in our mind and how we perceive reality can happen over the next 12 months. Or change of your belief system can lead to a relocation to a foreign country. That's another way. Or a big shift of spirituality, 12th house, can lead to a big, to pre-qualifying, to starting to decide, pre-qualifying, like looking for a new career and starting to learn new higher wisdom. 9th house rules astrology, higher esoteric system, anything new that you start to study to pre-qualify, but something to do with your belief system leads to that. Or circumstances that are out of your control, which is the 12th house, like out of your reach, that can lead you, like karmic, you can't control, which can lead to you changing your plans for the future. The 9th house, changing, even moving to foreign countries, or starting to pre-qualify, or changing your beliefs in a big way. Sometimes it might be, in worst case scenario, something that's out of your control, which can lead you to change your faith and how you perceive God and how you perceive reality overall. And behind the scenes, 12th house rules also rules things behind the scenes, which possibly like preparatory preparatory period for higher education, or doing something behind the scenes like research, or there might be something behind the scenes that you're not fully aware of, which can create some complications in regards to arranging matters for foreign countries, to higher education, to foreign travel of some sort, to legalizing of matters, because ninth house rules court cases, legalization of any sources, the law. So be careful of undermining influences which might be, or things that you are not aware of, which can appear suddenly in some way. Okay, and then for Pisces, Jupiter is in your 8th house, Pluto is in your 11th house. So again, 11th house is a social circle. 8th house is big, deep transformation. So a big transformation in your life, psychological, can lead you, if you're Pisces, to big changes in your social environment, to who you're friends with, to your network of people, or other people's resources. 8th house can lead to a big change of your gaining potential and earning potential, the 11th house, or because you want to change what you earn and what you gain on the market, the 11th house, you can change, you know, your resources that come to you from other people. Or for example, your partner's resources can be changing in some way, and because of that you have to change your earning potential as well, or your social circle can change, or your long-term goal can be changing as well. 11th house is about long-term goals and about dreams and wishes, and big psychological transformations. Jupiter in the 8th house can lead to a big change in those goals. Also, 8th house might be sometimes like unexpected, sudden, almost shocking developments that actually turn out great for you and can lead to financial or to rewards of some sort. Pluto in the 11th house might be through death, through inheritance, might be through sudden breakup or something like that, which turns out to transform not only a social environment and your long-term goals, Jupiter in the 11th house, but also your earning potential. So thank you so much, guys. Wow, that was a long video. Hope I didn't bore you. Maybe someone will put timestamps on that. And I will see you next week. And make sure to check out all my courses on astrology. Check out all my, especially the new course that's coming on the south and north node of the moon. Thank you.